Right now, this is a good time to seek shelter if you are in the very eastern edge of Logan County, if you're in Simpson County, and really, if you're in Warren County, I would start thinking, where's my safe space? Because this storm is coming in very quickly. If you're in Morgantown, think, where's my safe space? Again, not seeing a warning for Butler County just yet, but it's a very strong storm moving in there, and it means business as it moves through, because we're talking about some high winds, the potential for damage even without a tornado warning. We still have the potential of seeing damaging winds, deadly winds at times, especially if for some reason you're caught outside in this. If you're driving in this is not a good time to be getting on the road, going somewhere. If you need to go somewhere for shelter, if you're not in this area, you need to go before it gets here. So be watching this radar, and if you live to the east, understand how close this is to you and when the time is to leave, and give yourself extra time. Been a very active night across South Central Kentucky, just not in the immediate area of the WNKY News 40 viewing area, but I'm going to widen out the radar view. We've had a string of tornado warnings along and just north of the Western Kentucky Parkway, and it's really been a parade from Ohio County all the way back to Princeton, and now we see another tornado warning that's about to bear down on Princeton. But then off to the west, well, we have another line of storms, and this is the line that I'm watching that could really be giving us an impactful evening. And then another line, you won't see it because I don't have that part of the data turned on the radar, but that could impact our weather during the late night hours tonight. Those are the most dangerous times to get severe weather because you simply can't see what's coming towards you, and most people are asleep at that hour and you don't hear what's happening. Now, as far as the temperatures are concerned, been a warm evening out there. Temperatures have been rising during the evening hours. That's another factor in helping feed those storms that are heading towards us. And another thing, plenty of moisture for those storms to work with. Check this out, 87% humidity in Bowling Green, 90% Louisville, really all of Western Kentucky in the 80s and 90s except for areas around Clarksville. So we are looking at warm temperatures, windy conditions, and now we're looking at humid conditions. That's all going to help feed those storms as they move into South Central Kentucky during the late night hours. We'll be covering it throughout the evening. We'll have more information for you later on this newscast. But first, it's important to stay safe as far as
lots of football happening tonight, surprisingly on a Thursday.
Can't wait.
I know, big Cowboys guy.
Yeah.
I know you're waiting hopefully good weather in Tampa Bay, right?
Hopefully good weather, good game. By the way, look at that. You can see the Dallas Cowboys star on the scoreboard back there. I am already pumped. Tonight's weather, though, may not be so nice for the game. That could impact it. So, you know, we talk about, from time to time, later in the season, snowy games. We talk about teams that go from, like, dome teams that have to play in the heat and humidity. Well, tonight could have some tropical impacts. Take a look at the forecast for Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, really Tampa Bay. Look at the possibility of a few thunderstorms out there. Temperature around 80 degrees by about 7:20. That's when kickoff hits. And as far as those winds, they will be out of the southwest, 5 to 10 miles an hour. Now, here's the thing about those winds out of the southwest. Number one, if there's lightning, they will not allow anyone in the stadium. But here is Raymond James Stadium, and when the loop clears, you can see the rain, you can see the water from basically the bays around Tampa. And with these storms coming in and with the winds coming out of the southwest, and Raymond James Stadium is oriented north to south, if you get some of those winds hooking in that southern end zone, could make it tougher for the team that has to kick from the northern half of the field. Could be some headwinds for those kickers or passers. But if you're on the southern side, the southern half of the field, it could actually help you as far as kicking or passing, or for those passers, the quarterback may overthrow by mistake. So it could be some very interesting dynamics as far as the game is concerned tonight. Welcome back to News 40 at 6. I'm Chief Meteorologist Scott Burchett on location at BG Ballpark, where, of course, it's playoff season for the BG Hot Rods. Weather looking great as we go into tonight, and, well, at least the first part of the week. We'll talk more about some rain chances coming into the area. Take a look right now, though, at the almanac. We'll start you off with that time lapse at Smith's Grove from the tower cam, and it's a beautiful day out there today as far as the sunshine. Few light clouds, high clouds trying to come in to the area as we got through the afternoon, but still lots of sunshine, and, well, it made temperatures go up to pretty close to where they should be, maybe a few degrees above average in some areas that got more sunshine. For example, at the Bowling Green Regional Airport's National Weather Service office, made it up to 84 degrees the morning.
Time now for a full look at our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Scott Burchett. Scott, so tell me, when exactly do you think this first snowflake will fall?
The first snowflake likely going to fall during morning rush for most of us. Now, keep in mind as you head eastward, so east of I-65, that starts going to be just a little bit later. But for areas maybe along I-65 and west, we're going to start to see kind of an early start. So if you're getting up, say at 6 a.m., well, it's probably not going to be doing much of anything by that time. But by the time a lot of us are heading out the door, could start to see a few flurries, maybe a few snow showers. And then once it's been snowing for a little while, you know, salt works pretty well until we drop below, say, 17 degrees or so. The problem is sometimes it comes down so fast and so heavily, it's just hard to clear those roads. And then once the snow tapers off, it's easier for the salt to catch up and then the salt plows to catch up, the snow plows to catch up. However, we've seen that winter storm warning area expanded over the last few hours. National Weather Service actually built that warning east or westward. So now places like Russellville, Morgantown in the warned area, and even Elizabethtown. So it went westward and northward, even southward. So basically it went in all directions as far as a bigger warned area. This is where we're going to see the heavier snow totals over the next 24 hours or so. And then off to the west, we do have in that bluish color the winter weather advisory. Still going to get an accumulating snow in most of those areas, but likely it will not be quite as heavy or as deep. As far as the snow to bread meter, Maxwell Trink, not a big fan of snow, but I think he's thinking it's going to be 2, maybe even 3 slices of bread once all the snow falls based on the latest model data. So going to be with those snows, it's going to be an inconvenience for a day, maybe a day and a half, and then we are going to be warming up as we get into the weekend when we'll get some rain. As far as those temperatures right now, seeing them drop now into the 30s, 37 degrees at the Bowling Green Regional Airport. Above freezing, but we will be dipping below freezing. That's going to set the stage to cool the ground and the pavement temperatures for the snow to stick. Winds coming out of the northwest at 7, humidity 50%. So we need to get some more moisture in the atmosphere before we can get that snow all the way down to the surface. We're going to get that though. The Gulf is unlocking, and that's what's going to help us with those snow totals to up them just a bit. And barometric pressure rising for the moment until that next low pressure system gets in the area. Temperatures across the area have been falling. Everybody above freezing, but some areas like Woodbury just above freezing, 33 degrees. Glasgow a little warmer at 35, Edmonton 34, but still seeing most areas hovering just a few degrees above the freezing mark. And live radar, I mentioned that you can see some echoes trying to form, especially along the Ohio River. This is what we call virga. We have that precipitation up high in the atmosphere, but it's not reaching the ground just yet. That'll be changing as we get closer to morning, and we still have those flood warnings for the western portions of the Green River area. Wouldn't doubt it if some of those aren't extended into next week because of some of the heavy rain we're expecting this week. In Futurecast, you can see those echoes of virga on Futurecast, but we will start to see the snow actually punch through the lower atmosphere by around 6:37. I mentioned after 8 o'clock, likely is when we're going to see most of those areas to the east of I-65 start to get the noticeable snow. The deeper blues, that's where we'll see the heavier snow. This is new though, this Futurecast run showing the snow actually persisting a little later in the afternoon. That's going to help those snow totals be a little higher, and I really still think we'll see some of those flurries persist into tomorrow night, even into Friday morning with those snow showers. High pressure builds in for Friday. That's going to leave us with some sunshine, but some very cold temperatures, especially at night. Take a look at a few models. The Barron model has actually upped the potential for snow. I still think we're going to be right around the 4-inch mark in Bowling Green, and then we'll have a chance of seeing 5, maybe even 6 inches eastward along the Cumberland Parkway and south. GFS model, the American model, it really wants to spit out about 2 to 4 inches of snow in most areas. The North American model, it's really hovering around 4 inches of snow along the Cumberland Parkway and south. And then the HRR model, it's really in lockstep with the North American model with about 4 inches or 5 inches to the south of the Cumberland Parkway. So for tonight, we go down into the mid-20s. Those clouds build in tomorrow. We see those snow showers start to develop. Heavy at times, could see 3 to 5 inches accumulation across the area. We cool down into the teens, maybe single digits for Friday morning, Saturday morning, and then we warm up for the weekend.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Morgan Hoover.
And I'm Chief Meteorologist Scott Burchett outside in downtown Bowling Green, where it's still snowing right now.
It is. We are just outside the German American Bank Studios in downtown Bowling Green. The snow is slightly coming down, not as heavy as it was earlier. But Scott, what are the current conditions right now?
We're still seeing snow across much of the area, starting to taper off a bit. As a matter of fact, take a look at the radar and you can see the back edge of the snow starting to work through the area as we speak. And that doesn't mean that we're totally finished with the snow, because we still normally have a few little light patches of snow that don't show up on the radar. It's just not as tightly packed as rain. So those radar beams, well, they go right through the snow compared to what they would for rain. Now, in addition to the snow, we are looking at some very cold temperatures tonight on top of, well, look at that, the nearly 5 inches that has fallen in Franklin, 3.7 in Bowling Green, and Glasgow, a little lighter amounts, 3.1 inches.
Into something local. This month is National Farm to School Month, and students from a local school district are getting the chance to learn firsthand where their food is coming from. Preschool through 5th grade students of the Bowling Green Independent Schools will travel to Needmore Acres Farm in Scottsville this week. And today, TC Cherry students came. A different school will come each day this week. Now, while there, those students will get a firsthand look at how crops are grown before arriving at grocery stores or cafeterias. Students received their own meal kits and planted their own lettuce plants. Since some of the students likely won't travel out of Bowling Green during their younger years, district staff say they're thankful to the farm for always hosting the children's experience.
A lot of kids can learn just by reading a textbook, but so many kids need the visualization, and it's really important to kind of come full circle so the kids see what they're learning in the classroom in real life and really connect with that and keep it with them for the rest of their lives.
The trip is made possible by the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Grant, which provides fruit and vegetable snacks to 4 elementary schools.